Today, Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark World Environment Day. This is a day for encouraging worldwide awareness and action for the protection of our environment. The theme for this year is beating plastic pollution. If you look around you, you discover, say, plastic dey everywhere. For our waters, for drainages, and even they lead to so many environmental issues and disaster wey dey cause around us. No wonder there is a global call for the reduction in the use of plastic. In fact, according to a report by the African Development Bank, 10,000 marine animals now they die every year due to plastic pollution. In another report by the World Economic Forum, if nothing is done by the year 2050, we will get more plastic for the world's ocean than fish. That means say plastic go plenty for water pass fish. And this is not good for us at all at all. Now, in case you're wondering, how this one take concern you? When these plastics then enter water, fish will chop them. And when fish chop them, you chop the fish. Then it causes health problem. Our focus on the program today will look at how we can curb plastic pollution in Nigeria. So you're welcome to this edition of GDP, and my name is Twitwi Ayenowawo. We'll go for a quick break. We'll be right back to set the discussion. All right, welcome back. This is GDP on Citizen Information Network. Before the break, we mentioned two reports, one by the African Development Bank and another by World Economic Forum. And these two reports by African Development Bank, the report states that 10,000 marine animals now they die every year as a result of plastic pollution. According to World Economic Forum, by the year 2050, we will get more plastic for the world's ocean than fish. Not good news at all at all. Here for Nigeria, our focus now how we take curb plastic pollution. In fact, according to NESRA, they don't advise Nigerians to first of all at least reduce the way that they use plastic, plastic use. But then again, we understand that aside plastic, which is a part of waste, we have general problem, a big problem with waste management in Nigeria. Apart from Lagos State, Cross River State, and Akwa Ibom State, and other few states that have invested much, including Kaduna State, of course, or that have invested somehow into waste management. So many other states in the country still find it difficult to invest in waste management. Some will complain about lack of fund and all the rest. But apart from the poor funding, another major problem is inappropriate technology. Inappropriate technology. And another one is inadequate facility and even poor human resources. The poor human resources is even the big one, because this one, they even put the life of those where they work with waste management agencies for risk. Because when you see these guys come to your house to pick up your waste, they are not even properly dressed at times, because sometimes they don't even have the gloves to protect their hands. Sometimes they don't even have the nose mask and even head protection. But of all these problems mentioned, the biggest problem so far is public enlightenment. Because some people for Nigeria don't even understand the effects of improper disposal of waste on the environment. That now why year in, year out, we still get every flooding for Nigeria. You look at Lagos, remember the drama last year when flood take over Lekki. And you saw what happened when the same flood take over the mainland. Saw the images of plastic we don't cover drainage system and all the rest. But we understand that apart from few, it cannot be said that people will intentionally do this to themselves. You don't want to set your house on fire and go to bed. Nobody will want to do that. So therefore, the more Nigerians understand how the improper disposal of waste will affect them, the better for us. Because now, when you look at the environment, some people find it difficult to even use the service of the authority who the waste collectors, the reason they don't want to use these waste collectors is because some of them find it difficult to pay for waste. How can I pay for waste? So what you have is that you have people who go dig ground, bury waste for them, and plastic, we know say they take years, over tens of years for plastic to decay. And apart from these ones, some people go just pour their dirty for road, like you dey see for Lagos now. People pack dirty, put for middle of the road. People pack dirty, pour for drainage. If you go to Ibadan, it's a very common thing. So, but if governments inform the people, and people get to understand more about this waste, that it can be recycled, then we understand that the problem we will get for Nigeria will dey reduce. Because if we look around us, recycling is a big business, very big business, recycling. But when government don't fail to invest, to let the people understand, to carry the people along, to sensitize the people about this, then a very big problem there. Because when people understand, say, oh, I fit make money from this waste plastic where I get all over around me, for my house and then we're not going to beg people to pick waste from the road. More people would rather keep their waste, keep unto themselves, because they know that they can make money from this. And the people who are into the recycling business will definitely approach people to buy their waste. Because presently we know that for you to get this waste from the dump site, you pay some amount of money to government to even approach the dump site to get this waste. But then again, government never still come out to tell us the truth. Because if they start with get a process, a policy, whereby everybody feel they gather their waste and make money from it, definitely nobody will just throw away waste indiscriminately. Because everybody now will start to they keep their waste for us. Because as a matter of truth, we understand presently, say, we get a 10 billion waste plastic package and containers every week. That is the word generally, every week. So, but the more people get this information, say, oh, I feel make money from my waste, then we go feel resolve this and we go get less waste. If at all, we go still see waste for our water waste. But now we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back after this break, we'll look at the recycling and how they fit take waste to generate electricity and even, as a matter of truth, agricultural manures. This na still GDP. We'll come back. All right, welcome back. Still GDP on Citizen Information Network. Okay, we don't mention so many things already, but now let's move on to, before we talk about our waste, how they use waste all over the world till they generate electricity. Let's mention also that if every Nigerian reuse one plastic bag, if every Nigerian, that is the plastic bag that you get from your shopping, that is used to package your goods and all that, if we reuse it a day, we use one plastic bag a day, what we go do be say, we go reduce the over 100 million plastic bags where they block our gutters, you know, our waterways. We go save ourselves that stress. Because now over 100 million plastic bags, now they block our gutters, drainages every day. Because we refuse to reuse. Okay, then again, another thing we say, if Nigerians decide now to empty their sachet, that is your sachet, your waste, plastic waste, whether plastic bottle or sachet and all that, and you put them, keep them somewhere to give to waste collectors, it will make the job easier, because that way, those who are doing to recycling go figure this. But then again, I doubt if Nigerians go fit do this stress, because now wetin those wey dey for authority won't be that. But the reason why Nigerians not go fit do this, I doubt if, you know, but if they let you know say money dey involve, that you fit dey sell your waste, that time you see everybody go dey guide their waste jealously. You know, so recyclers, people go waste collection center, go there, they weigh your waste, you sell it, especially the plastic waste. So all these things wey they see all around us, we know they see them again. And that time self, funny enough, now that time you see neighbors, they fight over waste. Now my waste be that, not carry them. You know, all of that, and it go boost the economy. More people go there employed. We know this is ongoing presently, but the information is not out there. There is no policy. So instead of making people pay to lawman for Lagos, for example, before you carry their waste. They should support or collect your waste, weigh am, and pay you for the waste when you don't gather. But now let's come to electricity. You know, say Nigeria need over 160,000 megawatts for every Nigerian to feel enjoy steady power supply. Over 160,000 megawatts. But presently for the country, with a struggle with 6,000 megawatts. And total installed capacity is a little above 10,000 megawatts. So, what do we fit do with this? They all over the world, they use waste to generate electricity. Not just electricity, even agricultural manure. So, if we encourage people to know about this, more people will invest into the electricity to generate electricity using waste. That means more people will come into the country to invest, more people will buy waste, and more people will buy. Say people who are jobless looking for a job, they'll start to sell waste. That means that time you ask person, what do you do for a living? Now dirty they sell. You see person if they work come meet you that side, they go all this one they see dirty for everywhere for street. We don't see again. Because people will go that time dirty will become very scarce. It will become business. And that way, we go start to generate more electricity. Now, we'll show you a video on how this is being done across the world, converting waste into electricity. Let's just see the video for a minute.
Garbage. And more garbage. A growing problem for our entire planet. Electricity. Something our modern world demands more and more of. Every day. It would be a dream come true if we could convert what we don't want into what we need. The ACTI waste-to-energy conversion technology is not limited to trash, otherwise known as MSW. It can also convert used tires, coal, wood chips, sugarcane, dried sewage sludge, animal waste, plastics, and even medical waste. The process involves 3 steps. In step 1, trash is first sorted, removing all recyclables, including glass, metal, and stone. What remains is ground up and thoroughly mixed to produce a well-balanced feedstock. In step 2, this feedstock is distilled using a pyrolysis system to extract energy-rich gas, which is then stored in tanks. Step 3 takes this gas and feeds it to a genset, which, as you can hear, fires right up.
So now you see, it's not something so difficult, not be rocket science as they talk am. So if government really want to curb plastic pollution for Nigeria, then we need a national policy. We go encourage people to they gather their waste by themselves and sell them. And we put an end to making people pay for waste. Because now big business, after government make you pay for the waste finish, those where they use this waste, they recycle them, then they pay to government to get those waste. You see? So who can they lose? That government will make me pay for dirty, come go sell her for person, wait again. So if we have this policy, then we don't litter the street again with waste. But this is not to say we dey encourage people where they litter the street with waste. But we just dey talk say one way to fit stop this. Now, when government come up with a policy, we go make people know say they fit make money from waste disposal, and that way you no go need to force anybody to say not throw dirty here, not throw. Nobody go even throw away their dirty self. Because that time I don't turn money. You see? So we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, it will be time to end the program for today. They say now GDP be this, and when they come back. All right, welcome back. Of course, GDP. You don't hear everything already, and now you know, say, if government implement them, to make sure say that they pay you for your waste. You know they throw away how many are again, Abi. But then, let's understand that to protect the environment is everyone's responsibility. Now your responsibility, now my responsibility. So if we destroy the environment today, we'll not get another one. So, time for you to stop to dey throw away your waste for the water, for ocean. Time for you to stop to dey dig your waste, especially plastic, dey bury for ground. Time for you to stop to dey take your waste, dey block gutter. And time for you, most importantly, to stop to dey deface Lagos with all those una dirty una dey put for road. Ibadan people, time don reach for una to stop am. And everybody for the country. Remember, say over 8,000 plastic waste, 8,000 tons of plastic waste, neither they generate for Lagos. Yes, over 8,000 plastic waste, neither they generate for Lagos. And also, if you still continue to dey throw away your waste for inside water and fish chop am, the plastic, as it take dey affect that fish, you can't buy the fish for market shop. Now where wahala dey start be that too. So you go want save your life, save that for family, abi. So time for all of us to join hands together and protect our environment. Remember, we fit do am together to make sure say lawmakers go pass a law or government go come up with a policy where they'll start to dey pay you for your waste. Just comment if you go like make government dey pay you for your waste. If you no go like at all, let us know also. If you send us email at info@entertainment.com or just comment below. Thank you very much. See you next time on GDP, Governance, Development, and People. My name, na Twi. Bye-bye.